Hey guys, how's it going? I'm kind of dealing with the sun here. It's coming through the trees weird. But I wanted to talk to you guys today about my 5 top unique reptile YouTubers that I watch. And I just wanted to do this video because I thought it would be great to pass this on if you haven't watched these channels, because they give really unique information I don't really see out there in terms of just regular information and what's on YouTube. Now I want to really clarify that this does not mean if you're not on here that you're not unique and that you're not one of my favorite reptile YouTubers. This is just some of the people that have really helped me and were unique to my situations, and I think unique to certain popular reptiles out there, and it really depends on the reptile you mostly cover. Has a lot of information out there, has less information out there. There's a lot to it, so don't be offended if you're not mentioned. That's not what this is about. I'm just trying to share some resources that someone might not know about. And one more thing before beginning, the requirements to be in this list is you must have less than 100,000 subs. I want to focus on newer creators and not the people most of us already know of, and you have to have more than 1,000, be a little bit more well established. Although I do want to give some shout outs to up and comers. These channels include the Jersey Herper, who has some really great herping content, very original, Planet O Reptile, who does similar stuff to me and has pretty good editing for starting out, much better than I did at his point, and also Uncharted Wild, who is a little bit more well established. I mean, he runs his own business where he goes around the schools and shows off his reptiles or community events, so check him out. That'll all be in the description. I do want to shout out Smokey J's Reptiles as well, although I don't think YouTube is his main focus. He does do some YouTube content that gives pretty good tips, so I definitely watch him as well. Again, all that will be in the description. Okay guys, so let's get on to our 5. I wonder who number 5 is. You guys guess it, it's Wiccan's Wicked Reptiles, the one other ball guy who has to be the main ball guy in reptiles because everybody loves him. I mean, how could you not want Mr. Clean to teach you about reptiles? But yes, I've known Adam for quite a while. There's actually been a point in time where I was giving tips to Adam and he was lower in sub count than my channel, but he has really taken off, and a lot of credit given to him for that because he's put a lot into editing. He does a lot for his reptiles and for his content and for you guys. It's all about you guys, and he's always made that known in our private conversations, which I'm not gonna leak because, you know, there's some lewd photos in there. I think Adam is one of the few channels who hits the nail on the head with making the video very fun and informative. I try to do that. Sometimes I get over analytic and I just can't really focus on that fun side, but Adam really has that down, and he's a great speaker. I think he does it best when it comes to getting people excited about reptiles and really showing off why you got into the hobby in the first place. He has that little giddy kid in him, you know? But yes, he has a great leopard gecko care guide. I think that was one of the first videos that kind of lined up to get him into this super popular position he's in today. I still think that's my most favorite video of his. I really learned a lot, and I don't even want a leopard gecko. So if you're into leopard geckos, if you're into hog noses, he has a really cool collection there of a lot more animals than I thought he had. I didn't figure that out until his moving video, which was very helpful to me because I have no clue how I'm going to move out of my house with all my reptiles. So I definitely recommend checking out Wiccan's Wicked Reptiles. If you already haven't, you actually are probably here right now because Wiccan's told you to come here. So it's kind of weird that I'm telling you to go back to Wiccan's. Do it anyway.
Hey, Professor Herp, how are you?
Hey, Adam. I didn't know you would know I was calling.
I have caller ID. It's the good reptile guy.
I just wanted to ask you one question. You got to answer really quickly.
Sure.
If you could only subscribe to one YouTube channel on YouTube, what would it be?
Maybe Professor Herp, obviously.
Oh, obviously. All right, there you go, guys. Okay, guys, let's move on to number 4 on our list. Scales13, the second best guy doing Ackie content on YouTube. I couldn't even say that with a serious face. I really like talking to Steve. I feel like we vibe pretty well together, and we have some plans for the future, hopefully, if he's still on board. But he does some really good Ackie content. He's been doing it longer than I have. He really helps me out when I have some questions. I go to him all the time, and I think he's a very underrated channel. He gives a lot of good information, and he's got a really good speaking voice as well. Ackie content is not his limits, though. He has a blue-tongued skink, which is something I've always been interested in. In fact, I think it would be good if he did an Ackie Monitor versus blue-tongued skink video, because for some reason I hear that a lot, Ackie versus blue-tongue. Overall, I think the dynamic of our two channels is really good overall for the care of Ackies. It's never good to only have one good source on any platform for one species, and I think him also being another major Ackie creator, it's always good to hear both our perspectives on things. I would never take anything I say as absolutely 110% true. You should always double check that. And why he's so unique is I use him to double check my own content. Sometimes he checks my information and I'm like, okay, maybe I said that wrong. Maybe I didn't get it right. Maybe he has a point there. And he's really the only other big Ackie guy on YouTube. And of course, like I said, he has other reptiles, but we're focusing on Ackie stuff right here. But it's really a great channel, really good information, and he's taught me a thing or two. So when people come to me saying that there's not any Ackie content on YouTube and that there's so many on this channel, I also point them over to Scales because I feel like YouTube just doesn't recommend him because he's been here for a while, he's been given good information a while, and he definitely deserves a shout out in this video. Check him out, great source of information. Okay guys, moving on to number 3. Probably the most detailed man of all of reptiles that I've seen, Alex Agama does a lot of great work with Agamas. You want to learn how detailed you should be with breeding reptiles? Watch him. One of his latest videos, I think it's his latest video, I always forget, but his latest videos on his latest clutch of Chinese water dragons really made me think about how efficient I'm doing my breeding and how much more detailed I should probably be. And that's what inspires me about his channel, is he always makes me do better in my keeping. Additionally, I don't see many YouTube content creators focusing on Agamas, and he's a really great source of that. I've really been into Agamas lately, and he's really helped me along with that love of them because I'm really into my Boyd's Forest Dragon I just got. That's a dream reptile of mine. I want a sailfin one day. I want an Aussie water dragon one day. They're really cool lizards, and it's really cool that his channel focuses on them, and it's very unique in that aspect. Also, what's great about Alex is when he's talking reptiles, he can go on, and he always acts like he's a bother when, in fact, I just love listening to all the knowledge he has, and I can't wait to see what he does with that knowledge, being that he's only in college. I definitely think he'll be a big name in the hobby. Unfortunately, college is a reason why he doesn't post too often nowadays, although I hope that turns around someday, but definitely a great channel to check out. Loads of information. You could definitely learn many things watching any of his videos, so I recommend his channel completely. Number 2 on the list, coming at you now. I've been mentioning Joey a lot at Rose City Reptiles in my most recent videos, and I've thought about putting him at like number 5 because so, but being how helpful his channel is, being how there's not a lot of Tegu content out there, and being how popular Tegus are, I couldn't help but put him at number 2. Joey knows so much about Tegus, care, breeding, whatever you need to know, and he has so many tips and tricks to give out on his channel. I definitely 100% think if you have a Tegu, you should be watching his content. And he's done a lot of recently cool moves with his breeding operation. He's gotten a farm. It's just really exciting to see that progress, and it makes me excited about my future and seeing where I could go breeding reptiles. Also, it's really great seeing his family involved. It's really nice seeing them interact with reptiles and being a part of the whole journey, because reptiles can be a family thing. I know it doesn't really sound as much so, but just think back to when you went to the zoo as a kid or anything. You would always be intrigued by the animals, including reptiles. And little kids, they're intrigued by animals. They love animals. So it really can be a fun family thing to do and get something to get your kids involved in. So for those reasons, I definitely think Rose City Reptiles is a great YouTube channel and one you should definitely be watching for Tegu related information. Definitely check him out. Great channel. Finally, moving on to our last number 1 on the list. Let's get to it, guys. Now, Neptune's number 1 on my list because of how much good information on chameleons she has out there and how little good information there is on chameleons out there. To be frank, I'm scared to ever own a chameleon. I just hear how hard they could kind of be and how improper a lot of people care for them, and it's just hard to find good information. And hearing her information, how she goes about getting in information, how she learned, and how she communicates it to her viewers, I just think she does it really well, and she has really good content, and she's really the only unique channel on YouTube that focuses mainly on the chameleon care. And I think a necessary part of communicating good information is how you go about it. And I think that's a really good skill she has. She's very calm and cool in answering questions, even in the most improper setups that people come to her with. She's very nice and approachable with that. And I really think that a lot of people take her advice because she's so personable, and I definitely can feel that. I think that's very undervalued in the hobby. Everybody attacks each other, and we need more people who are going to be calm and cool and collected when talking to someone about care and communicating what they should be doing and having kind of that conversation. So I definitely think she's helping a lot of chameleon keepers out there. Also, she does a great job at communicating via social... She does a good job at communicating via social media. That's what I was trying to say. But basically, she's really... What the... Should I just stop here? Like, is that what the universe is trying to tell me? Because every time I'm getting interrupted. It's not even the birds this time. Okay, she's really good at YouTube, guys. Really good at YouTube. I can't even talk now. She's really good at social media. She posts very often on Instagram, on her stories. She does it in the trendy way, which I'm an old man, basically. I know I'm only 25, but still, I don't get what the kids these days are doing, and she does that really well, and I think that's a great form of communicating. So yes, Neptune the Chameleon, great YouTube channel, communicates very well, very unique to chameleons, and I think is doing a lot for their husbandry, so check her out. Again, all these channels are in the description below. Okay, guys, that's my 5. Do you have any channels that you think would be in your top 5 that I haven't mentioned? Any unique channels out there that I should check out that maybe I haven't heard of? I'm always looking for great content creators out there, and I would love to hear yours. Couple announcements before wrapping up the video. Shout out to you amazing Patreon supporters. We have Darian J, Kat and Rick, Mahan's Bioactive Reptiles, Brian B, Herb M, Angela L, David T, and Smooth Cat. I really appreciate your support. You guys too can support the channel for as little as $1 a month. Check the top right for more information. Also, make sure to check out the merch. Oh wait, make sure to check out the merch. I have my Salads for Chumps t-shirt on. First one I could grab. We have 3 more designs besides this one though. That's to the left of my head, right of your screen. Check the Teespring link in the description for more information. All right guys, so that wraps up this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, and we'll see you guys next time.